Picture this, a jaw-dropping mansion perched on the edge of Miami's glittering coastline, its infinity pool sparkling under the Florida sun. Inside, the air is thick with the clink of champagne glasses and the smug laughter of America's elite. CEOs, Hollywood stars, and politicians, all gathered for a night of power plays and privilege. At the center of it all stands Charles Harrington, a billionaire real estate tycoon with a grin as sharp as a razor and a reputation for crushing anyone who dares challenge him. His latest target? A 10-year-old girl named Aaliyah Johnson, the daughter of his driver, Marcus. Aaliyah, with her poised frame and striking soulful eyes, sits quietly at a massive ebony poker table, clutching a stack of $5,000 chips. The room erupts in chuckles as Harrington leans forward, his voice dripping with condescension. "Little girl, you think you know poker because you saw it on TV? Let me show you how the real world works." But here's the kicker. Harrington has no idea who he's dealing with. Aaliyah isn't just any kid. She's a mathematical prodigy, a genius who's been studying probabilities since she was 7, outsmarting algorithms in her spare time. Her calm, piercing gaze locks onto Harrington as she replies, cool as ice, "Thank you for the invite, Mr. Harrington. But are you sure you want to keep going?" The crowd snickers, thinking this is just a cute stunt. Harrington laughs louder, tossing a chip worth more than most people's cars onto the table. "Let's make it fun," he sneers. "If you lose, your dad apologizes for letting you get so cocky. If you win, I'll double his paycheck. What happens next will leave you speechless." In a room full of the most powerful people in Miami, a black girl from the suburbs is about to turn a billionaire's arrogance into the most expensive lesson of his life. Don't blink, because this 10-year-old is about to flip the table, literally and figuratively, and expose a truth that'll shake this mansion to its foundation. Stick around to see how Aaliyah Johnson makes history in a single hand of poker. Let's set the stage. It's a balmy Saturday evening in Miami, Florida, where the ocean breeze carries the scent of salt and ambition. Charles Harrington's sprawling mansion, a 20,000-square-foot masterpiece of glass and marble, looms over the coastline, its floor-to-ceiling windows reflecting the fiery hues of the sunset. Inside, the vibe is pure opulence. Crystal chandeliers casting rainbows across imported Italian tile, a grand piano humming softly in the corner, and a buffet table groaning under the weight of lobster tails and caviar. This is the playground of the ultra-rich, a world where power is measured in millions and status is everything. At the heart of the scene is Aaliyah Johnson, a 10-year-old black girl with a poised, athletic frame and a face that lights up with quiet confidence. Her deep brown eyes sparkle with intelligence, but tonight, she's out of place, sitting in the mansion's sleek kitchen, scribbling math problems in a worn notebook. Aaliyah's only here because her babysitter bailed at the last minute, forcing her dad, Marcus Johnson, to bring her along to work. Marcus, a 45-year-old former engineer with a gentle smile and calloused hands, has been Harrington's driver for 5 years. Once a rising star in tech, he took this job after years of subtle discrimination shut him out of corporate boardrooms. Every day, he swallows his pride, enduring Harrington's snide remarks about knowing his place to provide for Aaliyah and her dreams. Charles Harrington, on the other hand, thrives on control. At 62, this real estate mogul is worth $3 billion, with a penthouse in every major city from Miami to Manhattan. His sharp blue eyes and tailored suit scream authority, but it's his cruel streak that defines him. Harrington loves nothing more than flexing his wealth to humiliate those he deems beneath him, like Marcus, whom he mocks in front of his elite guests for sport. Tonight, when Harrington spots Aaliyah in the kitchen, he sees a chance for a new game. Why not have some fun, he thinks, smirking as he invites her to his high-stakes poker table. He's got no clue that Aaliyah's been hiding a secret, one that's about to turn his world upside down. The poker table gleams under the soft glow of a chandelier, its polished ebony surface reflecting the tension in the room. Charles Harrington, his tailored suit crisp and his grin sharper than a Miami shark, leans back in his leather chair, tossing a $5,000 chip into the air like it's pocket change. The crowd of elite guests, CEOs, a Hollywood heartthrob named Ethan Carter, and a tech mogul, Vanessa Brooks, circle the table, their champagne flutes forgotten as they watch the spectacle unfold. At the other end sits Aaliyah Johnson, a 10-year-old black girl, her poised frame steady, her striking brown eyes locked on Harrington. The billionaire's voice booms across the room, thick with mockery. "Come on, little girl. You're in over your head. This ain't no kiddie game on your daddy's phone. Time to learn your place." Harrington's words cut like a knife, and Marcus Johnson, standing rigid against the wall, clenches his fists, his face a mask of restrained pain. 4 years, he's endured Harrington's insults, being called boy at 45, told to stay in his lane in front of other drivers. But now, targeting his daughter? It's a new low. Harrington, sensing the room's attention, ups the ante. Let's make this interesting, he sneers, pushing a stack of chips worth $1 million toward the center. That's my yacht, docked at Miami Beach. 80 feet of pure luxury. If you win, it's yours. But when you lose, your dad apologizes for letting you get so uppity. The crowd chuckles, a few guests exchanging smug glances. Vanessa Brooks raises an eyebrow, amused but intrigued. Aaliyah doesn't flinch. Her voice, calm as a summer breeze, slices through the laughter. I'll take that bet, Mr. Harrington. But let's raise the stakes. The room goes quiet, all eyes on her. If I win, you double down. Add your Key West villa to the pot. $3 million, last I checked. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Ethan Carter leans forward, his smirk fading. Harrington laughs, a harsh, grating sound. You've got guts, kid. Fine, the villa's in. But if you lose, your family packs up and leaves Miami for good. No place for dreamers here. Marcus steps forward, his voice trembling. Aaliyah, this is too much. Let's go. But Aaliyah raises a hand, her gaze never leaving Harrington. I've got this, Dad. I know exactly what I'm doing. The billionaire's eyes gleam with malice. Oh, you're on, sweetheart. Let's go bigger. My penthouse in downtown Miami, 5,000 square feet, worth $10 million. Total pot, $14 million. But when you crash and burn, your dad begs me for forgiveness, on his knees, for raising a girl who doesn't know her place. The crowd murmurs, some uncomfortable now, but Harrington's too far gone, drunk on his own power. Aaliyah's lips curve into a faint, steely smile. I accept, she says, her voice steady as steel. But here's my condition. When I win, and I will, you kneel before my dad, apologize for every racist jab you've thrown at him for 5 years, and admit to this room that you underestimated a black girl from the suburbs. Deal. The room freezes. Vanessa Brooks chokes on her drink. Harrington's face reddens, but his pride won't let him back down. Deal, he snarls. Get ready to lose, kid. What Harrington doesn't know is that Aaliyah's been waiting for this moment. Every chip on that table, every word from his mouth, is fuel for a fire he can't see coming. This isn't just a game anymore. It's a reckoning. The tension in Charles Harrington's Miami mansion is thicker than the humid air outside. The poker table, a slab of polished ebony, is now a battlefield, with $14 million in chips stacked like skyscrapers in the center. Charles Harrington, his face flushed with a mix of arrogance and irritation, glares across at Aaliyah Johnson. The 10-year-old black girl, her poised frame steady and her striking brown eyes unyielding, arranges her cards with the precision of a surgeon. The crowd of elite guests, Vanessa Brooks, Ethan Carter, and a handful of Miami's power players, leans in, their whispers buzzing like static. Harrington scoffs, his voice dripping with disdain. You're bluffing, kid. No way a girl like you knows the first thing about poker. But what Harrington doesn't know is that Aaliyah isn't just playing cards. She's playing him. Aaliyah's secret isn't just her poker face. It's a mind that moves at the speed of light. At 7 years old, while other kids were glued to cartoons, Aaliyah was devouring online math courses through a free program for gifted children. By 8, she was calculating probabilities faster than most college professors, her bedroom walls covered with scribbled equations. By 9, she'd mastered the mathematics of Texas Hold'em, memorizing odds and strategies from every free poker book she could find online. But Aaliyah's genius goes beyond numbers. For the past year, she's been studying Harrington himself, combing through business articles, charity event videos, and even his social media posts. She noticed a pattern. Harrington always underestimates his opponents, especially women and people of color, betting big when he feels superior. It's a weakness she's ready to exploit. Her secret weapon? Dr. Evelyn Carter, a retired MIT professor and expert in game theory, who mentors Aaliyah through a virtual tutoring program for underserved kids. Dr. Carter saw Aaliyah's potential early, teaching her not just math but the psychology of arrogant players like Harrington. Men like him, Dr. Carter once said, Bet on ego, not strategy. Use that against them. Aaliyah took it to heart, spending months analyzing Harrington's behavior. She even hacked into his public social media accounts, not to post, but to study his habits and prepare for this moment. Tonight, she's not just playing poker, she's executing a plan. Aaliyah leans forward, her voice calm but piercing. Mr. Harrington, you're so sure I don't belong here. But I've been studying you longer than you've been studying those cards. The room falls silent. Harrington's smirk falters. Just for a second. What's that supposed to mean? He snaps. Aaliyah's eyes glint with quiet confidence. It means I know you've lost $2 million in Vegas over the past 3 years, always betting too big when you think you've got the upper hand. I know your wife, Lillian, doesn't know about those losses. And I know you're about to make the same mistake right now. The crowd gasps. Vanessa Brooks sets her drink down, her eyes wide. Ethan Carter mutters, "This kid's unreal." But Aaliyah's not done. She reaches into her backpack, pulling out a small tablet. "Oh, and one more thing," she says, tapping the screen. "This entire game is being live-streamed to my 10,000 followers, mostly math nerds and social justice advocates. Right now, 5,000 people are watching you bet $14 million against a 10-year-old black girl while throwing racist jabs at her dad. Care to up the ante again?" Harrington's face drains of color. The room feels like it's holding its breath. Marcus, still against the wall, stares at his daughter, pride and fear warring in his eyes. Aaliyah's not just a genius, she's a strategist, and she's about to turn Harrington's world upside down. The air in Charles Harrington's Miami mansion feels like it's about to ignite. The ebony poker table, littered with $14 million in chips, is a ticking time bomb. Charles Harrington, his face a mask of smug confidence, leans forward, his tailored suit creased from the intensity. His blue eyes glint with certainty as he grips his cards, convinced he's about to crush Aaliyah Johnson, the 10-year-old black girl sitting across from him. Aaliyah, her poised frame steady and her striking brown eyes calm as a still lake, holds her cards with surgical precision. The crowd of elite guests, Vanessa Brooks, Ethan Carter, and a dozen other Miami power players, presses closer, their murmurs a low hum of anticipation. The live stream Aaliyah revealed moments ago now has 25,000 viewers, their comments flooding her tablet with fire emojis and cries for justice. Harrington, oblivious to the digital storm brewing, slams his cards down with a theatrical flourish. "Read it and weep, kid," he crows. "2 pairs, kings and aces. Top-tier hand. You're done." The room erupts in murmurs, some guests nodding approvingly at Harrington's strong play. Vanessa Brooks smirks, sipping her champagne, while Ethan Carter leans back, expecting a quick end. Marcus Johnson, standing against the wall, grips his car keys so tightly his knuckles pale, his heart pounding for his daughter. Harrington's wife, Lillian, watches from the sidelines, her diamond necklace glinting, her expression a mix of amusement and unease. "Last chance, little girl," Harrington taunts, his voice thick with condescension. "Fold now, and I'll let you walk away with just a bruised ego." Aaliyah doesn't blink. Her lips curve into a faint, almost imperceptible smile, the kind that sends a shiver down the spine of anyone paying attention. "Thanks for the offer, Mr. Harrington," she says, her voice smooth as silk. "But I'd rather stay for the part where you realize you've lost everything." The crowd falls silent, the weight of her words hanging heavy. Aaliyah's small hands move deliberately, her fingers brushing each card as she lays them down, one by one, on the table. First, the 10 of hearts. Then, the Jack of hearts. The Queen of hearts. The King of hearts. And finally, with a quiet grace that feels like a thunderclap, the Ace of hearts. A royal flush, the rarest hand in poker, with odds of less than 0.00015%. The room freezes, as if time itself has stopped. Harrington's jaw drops, his eyes wide with disbelief, darting between the cards and Aaliyah's serene face. That's impossible," he stammers, his voice a choked whisper. Vanessa Brooks chokes on her drink, coughing violently. Ethan Carter bolts upright, muttering, "No way!" Lillian's hand flies to her mouth, her eyes darting to her husband's ashen face. Aaliyah leans back, her gaze never leaving Harrington. "Not impossible, Mr. Harrington," she says, her tone polite but razor-sharp. "Just improbable, unless you know exactly what you're doing." "And I do." The live stream explodes, the viewer count surging past 30,000, comments screaming, "She did it!" and "Take him down!"
Marcus steps forward, his eyes glistening with pride, though his hands still tremble. Aaliyah's tablet pings with notifications. Her followers are sharing the stream across every platform, from Twitter to TikTok. "You cheated!" Harrington roars, slamming his fist on the table, chips scattering like confetti. "No kid could pull this off." Aaliyah tilts her head, unfazed. "Check the cards, Mr. Harrington. Check the table. Check the stream. It's all real. And right now, 30,000 people are watching you lose $14 million to a 10-year-old black girl you called uppity." The crowd gasps, some guests stepping back as if the room's about to combust. Lillian whispers, "Charles, stop," but her voice is drowned out by Harrington's ragged breathing. Aaliyah's voice cuts through, clear and commanding. "You made a deal, Mr. Harrington. I won. That means your yacht, your Key West villa, and your Miami penthouse are mine. But more importantly, you owe my dad an apology, on your knees, for every racist word you've thrown at him for 5 years. And it's all being recorded." Harrington's face contorts, rage and panic warring for control. The livestream ticker climbs to 35,000, and Aaliyah's followers are already tagging news outlets. This isn't just a poker game anymore, it's a public reckoning, and Aaliyah's holding all the cards. The silence in Charles Harrington's Miami mansion is deafening, broken only by the faint hum of the air conditioning and the soft pings from Aaliyah Johnson's tablet. The ebony poker table, now cleared of its $14 million in chips, feels like the epicenter of a storm. Aaliyah, the 10-year-old black girl with a poised frame and striking brown eyes, sits calmly, her royal flush still laid out like a guillotine. Charles Harrington, his face pale as the marble floors, grips the table's edge, his tailored suit disheveled, his arrogance crumbling. The crowd of elite guests, Vanessa Brooks, Ethan Carter, and other Miami power players, stands frozen, their eyes darting between Aaliyah's serene confidence and Harrington's unraveling panic. The live stream, now surging past 50,000 viewers, floods Aaliyah's tablet with comments, "She's a legend. Burn him down." Harrington's wife, Lillian, clutches her diamond necklace, her lips trembling as she whispers, "Charles, what have you done?" Aaliyah's voice cuts through the tension, clear and steady, like a blade. "Mr. Harrington, you thought this was just a game, didn't you?" She taps her tablet, pulling up a video feed that makes the room gasp. The screen replays Harrington's words from earlier in the night, his voice booming through the speakers. "Time to learn your place, little girl. Your dad's just a driver, and you're nothing but a dreamer who doesn't belong here." The crowd recoils, some guests looking away, ashamed. Vanessa Brooks sets her champagne flute down, her face tight with discomfort. Ethan Carter mutters, "That's rough." Aaliyah swipes the screen, showing another clip. Harrington sneering at Marcus. "Your family needs to know their lane, boy." The word boy lands like a slap, and Marcus, still against the wall, closes his eyes, years of humiliation flashing across his face. "This is live, Mr. Harrington," Aaliyah says, her tone polite but laced with steel. "Right now, 50,000 people, and counting, are watching you bet $14 million against a 10-year-old while throwing racist insults at my dad. Care to explain?" Harrington's mouth opens, but no words come out, only a choked sputter. His eyes dart to the tablet, where the viewer count climbs to 60,000, comments exploding with hashtags like hashtag Justice for Aaliyah and hashtag Harrington Exposed. Aaliyah leans forward, her voice unwavering. "I didn't just study poker, Mr. Harrington. I studied you. For 6 months, I watched your charity poker games, read your interviews, analyzed your Vegas losses. $2 million in 3 years, by the way. You always bet big when you think you're above your opponent. That's why I knew you'd fall for this." The room feels like it's shrinking, the walls closing in on Harrington. Aaliyah taps her tablet again, pulling up a document. "This is an email I sent to 3 major news outlets, CNN, NBC, and the Miami Herald, right before our game started. It includes clips of your racist comments tonight, along with a timeline of your behavior toward my dad over the past 5 years. They're already calling for interviews." Harrington's face turns gray, his hands trembling. You can't do this," he stammers. "I've got lawyers, I've got—" Aaliyah cuts him off, her voice calm but devastating.
Lawyers can't erase the internet, Mr. Harrington. And the internet never forgets.
Marcus steps forward, his voice soft but firm.
Aaliyah, how did you?
She glances at her dad, a flicker of pride in her eyes.
Dr. Evelyn Carter taught me more than math, Dad. She taught me how to document injustice.
She said people like Mr. Harrington only learn when their wallets and reputations take a hit.
Aaliyah turns back to Harrington, her gaze piercing.
You called my dad boy in front of your staff.
You told me I don't belong. But tonight, 60,000 people are seeing exactly who doesn't belong here. The tablet pings again. 70,000 viewers now, with Twitter trending #HarringtonDown. Lillian whispers, Charles, fix this. But Harrington's too stunned, his empire crumbling in real time. Aaliyah's not done. You made a deal, Mr. Harrington. I won your yacht, your villa, your penthouse. $14 million. But more importantly, you owe my dad an apology, on your knees, for every racist word you've said. And it's all being streamed.
The crowd holds its breath, the weight of Aaliyah's words sinking in.
Harrington's phone buzzes incessantly. Investors, board members, PR teams, all watching his downfall unfold. This isn't just a poker game anymore, it's a public execution of his pride, and Aaliyah's the one holding the gavel. The Miami mansion, once buzzing with the clink of champagne glasses and smug laughter, now feels like a sinking ship. The ebony poker table, stripped of its $14 million in chips, stands as a silent witness to Charles Harrington's downfall. The billionaire, his tailored suit wrinkled and his face a sickly shade of gray, slumps in his chair, his hands trembling as he stares at Aaliyah Johnson's royal flush. The 10-year-old black girl, her poised frame unshaken and her striking brown eyes gleaming with quiet triumph, sits across from him, her tablet glowing with a live stream now rocketing past 80,000 viewers. The comments are a wildfire. Harrington's done. Aaliyah's a queen. The crowd of elite guests, Vanessa Brooks, Ethan Carter, and other Miami heavyweights, shifts uncomfortably, their faces a mix of shock and dread. Harrington's wife, Lillian, stands frozen, her diamond necklace catching the light as tears well in her eyes. The air is thick with the weight of a reckoning. Harrington's phone erupts, buzzing like a swarm of angry bees. He fumbles to answer, his voice hoarse. What? No, it's not what it looks, wait. The voice on the other end, loud enough for the room to hear, belongs to his CFO. Charles, investors are pulling out. 3 major clients just canceled contracts after seeing you bet $14 million against a kid on a live stream. What the hell were you thinking? Harrington's eyes dart to Aaliyah, who watches him with the calm of a chess master who's already won. Another call cuts in, his PR team, frantic. The Miami Herald's running a story. Twitter's blowing up with #HarringtonExposed. We can't contain this. The phone buzzes again, then again, a relentless cascade of notifications that drowns out Harrington's stuttering protests. Vanessa Brooks, the tech mogul, slips toward the exit, her heels clicking on the marble floor. I'm out, she mutters to Ethan Carter, who's already texting his agent to distance himself from the scandal. This is a PR nightmare. Lillian, her voice breaking, grabs Harrington's arm. Charles, do something. Our friends are leaving, our reputation's in ruins. But Harrington's too stunned, his empire crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide. The livestream ticker hits 90,000 viewers, with clips of Harrington's racist remarks, calling Marcus boy and Aaliyah uppity, going viral across TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. Aaliyah's tablet pings with a message from CNN. We're requesting an interview. Name your time. Aaliyah rises from her chair, her voice steady but razor sharp. You brought this on yourself, Mr. Harrington. You thought you could humiliate my dad and me because of who we are. But now, the world's watching you pay the price. Marcus, still against the wall, steps forward, his eyes glistening with pride but heavy with years of pain. Aaliyah, you didn't have to, she cuts him off gently, her gaze soft but firm. I did, Dad. For you. For us. The crowd is silent, some guests avoiding eye contact, others whispering about the fallout. Harrington's phone buzzes again. A board member, his voice icy. Charles, the board's meeting in an hour. You've got until then to explain why we shouldn't fire you. Harrington's head drops, his hands clawing at his hair. This can't be happening, he mumbles.
But the truth is undeniable. His yacht, his Key West villa, his Miami penthouse, $14 million in assets, now belong to Aaliyah. Worse, his reputation, built over decades, is shredding in real time. Aaliyah picks up her tablet, her voice calm but commanding. "You still owe my dad that apology, Mr. Harrington. On your knees like we agreed. The world's waiting." The live stream ticker climbs to 100,000, and the room feels like it's holding its breath. Harrington's world isn't just crumbling, it's gone up in flames, and Aaliyah's the one who struck the match. The Miami mansion, once a glittering fortress of wealth, now feels like a hollow shell. The ebony poker table, where $14 million in chips changed hands, stands empty, a relic of Charles Harrington's shattered pride. The billionaire, his tailored suit crumpled and his face drained of color, sits slumped, his hands shaking as his phone buzzes relentlessly. Investors, board members, and reporters all piling on to his unraveling empire. Across from him, Aaliyah Johnson, the 10-year-old black girl with a poised frame and striking brown eyes, holds her tablet, the live stream now blazing past 100,000 viewers. Comments flood the screen. "Make him pay! Aaliyah's a hero!" The crowd of elite guests, Vanessa Brooks, Ethan Carter, and the remaining Miami power players, stands in uneasy silence, their earlier smirks replaced by grim realization. Harrington's wife, Lillian, hovers near the doorway, her diamond necklace glinting as she wipes tears from her cheeks, whispering, "Charles, just do it." Aaliyah's voice, steady and commanding, slices through the tension. "Mr. Harrington, you made a deal. I won your yacht, your Key West villa, your Miami penthouse. $14 million. But the real bet was your apology to my dad, on your knees, for every racist word you've thrown at him for 5 years. The world's waiting." Harrington's eyes dart around, searching for an escape, but the live stream's unblinking eye and the crowd's heavy stares pin him down. His phone buzzes again, a text from his board chairman, "Resign now, or we vote you out." He looks at Lillian, who shakes her head, her voice barely audible. "You've lost everything, Charles. Don't make it worse." Vanessa Brooks, already halfway to the exit, mutters to Ethan Carter, "This is over. He's radioactive now." Harrington's shoulders sag, his defiance crumbling like dry sand. With a groan, he slides from his chair, his knees hitting the marble floor with a dull thud. The sound echoes, a stark contrast to the mansion's earlier laughter. Marcus Johnson, standing tall despite years of humiliation, steps forward, his gentle face etched with pain and pride. Harrington's voice, hoarse and broken, begins, "Marcus, I'm sorry." Aaliyah raises a hand, her tone firm. "Not good enough, Mr. Harrington. The full apology like we agreed. Say it." The crowd holds its breath, the live stream ticker climbing to 120,000 viewers. Hashtags like #Harrington humiliated trending worldwide. Harrington's head bows, his words trembling. "Marcus Johnson, I apologize for calling you boy in front of my staff, for saying you and your family don't belong. For 5 years of racist remarks and public humiliation. I was wrong." Each word feels like a stone pulled from his chest, his voice cracking as tears streak his face. Aaliyah, recording every second on her tablet, nods slightly, her expression unyielding. "And?" she prompts. Harrington chokes out, "I underestimated your daughter, a brilliant black girl, because of my prejudice. I'm sorry." The room is silent, save for the soft sob from Lillian, who turns away, unable to watch. Aaliyah taps her tablet, uploading the video to Harrington's own social media accounts, which she'd accessed during her months of preparation. Within seconds, the clip spreads like wildfire, shared, retweeted, and reposted across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, racking up millions of views. "Deal's done," Aaliyah says, her voice calm but resonant. She turns to Marcus, her eyes softening. "Let's go, Dad. You don't work here anymore." Marcus, his hands no longer trembling, takes his daughter's hand, pride radiating from him like sunlight. The crowd parts as they walk toward the mansion's grand doors, leaving Harrington on his knees, a broken man in a crumbling empire. The live stream comments explode, "Justice served. Aaliyah changed the game." As the Johnsons step into the Miami night, the sound of Harrington's phone buzzing fades behind them, drowned out by the roar of a world that's just witnessed history.
The dust has barely settled from Aaliyah Johnson's seismic victory in that Miami mansion, but her story is just beginning to ripple across the nation. The 10-year-old black girl, with her poised frame and striking brown eyes, didn't just walk away with Charles Harrington's $14 million yacht, Key West villa, and Miami penthouse. She ignited a movement. In the weeks following that unforgettable poker game, Aaliyah, now a household name, takes her triumph and turns it into a force for change, proving that brilliance and courage can rewrite the rules of justice. Her live stream, which exploded to 2 million views within 24 hours, becomes a rallying cry, inspiring people from coast to coast to confront discrimination head-on. Aaliyah's first move is bold and purposeful. Partnering with Dr. Evelyn Carter, her MIT-trained mentor in game theory, she establishes the Bright Minds Fund, a scholarship program for underserved kids with a knack for math and science. Using $5 million from her poker winnings, Aaliyah launches the fund in a packed Miami community center, the room buzzing with local families, educators, and reporters. "This isn't about me," Aaliyah says, her voice steady and clear, amplified through a microphone. "It's about every kid who's been told they don't belong. Your dreams are bigger than their prejudice." The crowd erupts in applause, cameras flashing as the Bright Minds Fund announces its first 1,000 scholarships, covering everything from coding boot camps to college prep courses. Social media lights up with hashtag Bright Minds, and donations pour in, pushing the fund past $10 million in just 1 month. But Aaliyah's impact goes beyond money. Her viral video, Harrington's racist remarks and humiliating apology, sparks a wave of lawsuits against discriminatory employers across the country. From Atlanta to Seattle, workers share stories of being called boy or out of place, citing Aaliyah's courage as their inspiration. Legal aid organizations report a 300% spike in discrimination cases, with hashtags like hashtag Aaliyah Effect trending on Twitter. Aaliyah, now 11, appears on national TV, Good Morning America, The Tonight Show, her poised demeanor and sharp intellect captivating millions. "I didn't just want to win a game," she tells a teary-eyed host. "I wanted to show that intelligence doesn't care about your skin color or your zip code." Dr. Carter, now Aaliyah's official advisor, helps her launch an online education platform, Math for All, offering free courses in probability, coding, and strategy. Within 3 months, 50,000 students enroll, from rural towns to inner cities, proving Aaliyah's vision is reshaping opportunities for kids who've been overlooked. Back in Miami, Marcus Johnson, Aaliyah's father, watches his daughter with quiet pride, no longer a driver but a community advocate, speaking at rallies about workplace dignity. Aaliyah's movement isn't just a moment, it's a tidal wave, washing away barriers and lifting up voices that have been silenced for too long. And as her platform grows, one thing is clear. This young genius isn't done changing the world. 6 months after Aaliyah Johnson's earth-shattering poker victory, the Miami skyline still hums with her name. The 10-year-old black girl, now 11, has become a national icon, her Bright Minds Fund empowering thousands of kids and her hashtag Aaliyah Effect sparking change across America. But in a modest downtown office, a shadow from her past stirs. Charles Harrington, once a $3 billion real estate titan, is a broken man. His Miami penthouse, Key West villa, and yacht, worth $14 million, are gone, claimed by Aaliyah's win. His reputation lies in tatters, his marriage dissolved when Lillian left for Paris, and his companies collapsed under the weight of investor withdrawals. Now, living in a cramped studio apartment, Harrington scrapes by as a night janitor at a firm where Marcus Johnson, Aaliyah's father, is now a respected HR director. Fueled by bitterness, Harrington hatches a plan to claw his way back. He hires a team of high-priced lawyers, pouring his last $50,000 into a lawsuit against Aaliyah, claiming her live stream defamed him and her poker win was rigged. The news breaks on Twitter, with hashtag Harrington Fights Back trending briefly, stirring murmurs of a comeback. But Aaliyah, guided by Dr. Evelyn Carter, is ready. Her team counters with the undeniable evidence. The live stream, watched by 2 million people, capturing Harrington's racist remarks, calling Marcus boy and Aaliyah uppity, and his voluntary bet of $14 million. The case collapses in a Miami courtroom within weeks, the judge dismissing Harrington's claims with a stern rebuke. "You bet your fortune and lost, Mr. Harrington. Own it." Social media erupts, memes of Harrington's defeat flooding TikTok, while Aaliyah's followers, now 500,000 strong, rally with hashtag Justice Stands. Humbled and penniless, Harrington faces a reckoning. One rainy evening, he mails a handwritten letter to Aaliyah,
his words shaky but sincere. "I was wrong," he writes. "My prejudice blinded me. I've lost everything, but I want to make amends." Aaliyah reads the letter in her family's modest Miami home, Marcus by her side. Her striking brown eyes soften, but her resolve remains firm. She responds publicly on her Math for All platform, her voice steady and wise beyond her years. "Mr. Harrington, apologies are a start, but change comes from actions, not words. Help others, like I'm doing, and maybe you'll find redemption." Her message, viewed by 1 million people, trends nationwide, earning praise for its grace and strength. Harrington takes her words to heart. He volunteers at a Miami community center, mentoring at-risk youth, his once tailored suits replaced by a janitor's uniform. Marcus, now a community leader, crosses paths with him at a fundraiser, offering a nod of acknowledgement, not forgiveness, but progress. Aaliyah, watching from afar, continues building her movement, her $10 million fund now supporting 5,000 students. Harrington's return wasn't a comeback, it was a lesson in humility, proving that even the mightiest can fall, but only the humble can rise again. As the Miami sun sets, casting a golden glow over the city, Aaliyah Johnson's story shines brighter than ever. The 11-year-old black girl, with her poised frame and striking brown eyes, has done more than win a $14 million poker game against a billionaire. She's sparked a revolution. Her Bright Minds Fund now supports 5,000 students across America. Her Math for All platform empowers 50,000 kids with free education, and her #Aaliyah effect has fueled a nationwide push against discrimination. Marcus Johnson, once a driver humiliated by Charles Harrington, now stands tall as a community leader, his pride in his daughter lighting up every room. Harrington, humbled and working as a janitor, is learning to rebuild through quiet acts of service. Aaliyah's victory wasn't just a moment, it was the start of a movement that's changing lives from Miami to Main Street. This story isn't about poker or money. It's about what happens when courage meets brilliance. Aaliyah faced a titan who called her uppity and her father boy, and she didn't just win, she rewrote the rules. Her message is clear. Intelligence knows no boundaries, not skin color, not age, not zip code. No matter who tries to box you in, your mind is your greatest weapon. Use it to challenge injustice, to lift others up, to build a future where everyone gets a seat at the table. Aaliyah's story proves that one voice, armed with purpose, can topple empires and inspire millions. So, here's the challenge. Share this story. If Aaliyah's courage moved you, hit that share button and spread her message on Twitter, TikTok, or wherever you connect. Subscribe to catch more stories of people defying the odds, and comment below. What's one way you'll stand up against prejudice in your own life? But most importantly, take this lesson to heart. Don't let anyone's bias dim your potential. Like Aaliyah, lean into your strengths, learn relentlessly, and use your talents to create change. The world's watching. What will you do with your moment?